Welcome to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And Ron and I are the co-creators of TYRO.
TYRO is a Latin word which means apprentice, novice, someone learning something new, a warrior. Woo!
Yeah.
So flex those muscles, because that's what we're talking about today. What does it mean to have an attitude where you're always what? Winning.
In order to have a winning attitude, you have to understand what it means. And you have to also understand that you're going to face challenges. There's a measure of joy and a measure of pain in everybody's life. Ron and I navigated through 15 years of incarceration when Ron went to prison for a crime he didn't commit. He did time on the inside, while the kids and I did the time on the outside.
And this is amazing. You know, Cathy says for a crime I didn't commit, but let me keep it real. That doesn't mean I shouldn't have been there, because our lifestyle led up to a point of where we couldn't be taken at our word. We were living a self-destructive life. We were living a lifestyle where we were in poverty or in the entitlement mentality. Because why? We didn't know how to win. We didn't know how to really navigate life. And we were always stuck in what? Our own thinking.
Our stinking thinking, right? Our attitude was a losing attitude. But through our journey, we understood what it meant to face everything and recover, to see every challenge and figure out a way to overcome that challenge. And we became really passionate about helping every family coming behind us. And so TYRO TV is part of that. It's part of our desire to help people overcome challenges in order to develop a strong, healthy, thriving family.
You know, I may have been in prison physically, but there's other areas of our lives that we were incarcerated, emotionally, mentally, and yes, spiritually. So if you find yourself in a place where you're incarcerated, maybe not physically, but you just can't seem to get out of a rut, you just can't seem to get ahead, well, today's episode is about changing your attitude in order to get ahead in life, in order to break free from the things that are locking you up.
How do you develop a winning attitude so that you can overcome anything, so you can successfully reintegrate with your family, reintegrate in society and your workplace, and become a leader in all three of those places? So today, you want to stay tuned, because this is going to be a powerful show that's going to change your life.
So stay tuned, and we will be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Ron's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions, to own it. You'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about having a winning attitude no matter what is coming your way. You know, life is tough from the cradle to the grave. Boy, I tell you what.
Every moment, every minute, every second in between.
And it is hard to have a winning attitude in the midst of trials and tribulations and fire and brimstone and going through a crucible in your life. It is difficult to say, you know what, I'm going to come out on this on top no matter what's happening to me. When things are happening to you and they're affecting you in a way of where you become negative, you want to scream at people, you don't believe that you're going to get ahead in life. And I tell you what, man, when we're locked up in our own misery and we can't seem to get out, we're not fun to be around.
No, right? We start getting these cycles of this, oh, woe is me, this victim mentality, that the whole world is out against me. And now we're already practicing defeatedism, right?
Defeatedism, that's a good one.
Defeatedism, right? And so as we practice this being defeated and thinking all the time, it doesn't even matter what I do, then that's the result we get. And so when we think about a winning attitude, that means that flipping the way you think and seeing yourself as capable. Say that I am capable.
I am capable
of overcoming every challenge.
Of overcoming every challenge.
But when you're victimized in your thinking, which means that you just have stinking thinking and you constantly think, you know what, it doesn't even matter. The whole world is out to get me. It doesn't matter what I try to do. They're never going to think different about me. I'm never going to have anything better. Well, then you're setting yourself up for failure, not success.
You know, I remember in my own personal life, growing up and working in a factory and stuff, I always think that everybody was out to get me.
Oh,
You know, I couldn't get a break. You know, but the reality was I was creating my own experience. I would barely show up on time. I was a minimalist. How you say that? Minimalist. I would just do what we asked me to do. I wouldn't do anything extra, right? And so I was never trying to get ahead because why? I believed it was all about me and I was doing you a favor when I showed up to work, right? So I had this attitude where it was a losing attitude, and I didn't know it. I wasn't conscious of it, but I created the atmosphere of where I wasn't trustworthy, I wasn't honorable, you couldn't take me at my word. All these things, these attributes that I was manifesting, I was producing. Why? Because my attitude was that the world was out to get me. I could never get a break, so therefore I'm not going to help them. I'm not going to see them through.
Not only that, but you were owed something.
Oh my gosh,
right?
you owe me.
Yeah, you owe me. You owe me. I have a right to. I'm entitled to just because I am me. Not because I've earned it, not because I've worked hard, not because I have these achievements and I'm practicing things, but instead you just owe me. So when we talk about a winning attitude, we mean the attitude that says, you know what, there's going to be challenges and I am stronger than that challenge. We talk about a winning attitude, we're talking about the way of thinking that says, I can overcome. It's an empowerment way of thinking, you know what, I am fully capable every day of meeting the challenges that day holds. Because when you have a losing attitude, you wake up and you're already defeated. You already think, gosh, today is going to be a terrible day, today's going to suck. And you know what? I'm just prepared for it to be awful and to be taken out and everybody come against me. Well, that's a losing attitude.
So you've already prepared your day to lose. Especially, and I love what you said, when you wake up in the morning and that's your attitude, that's your mindset. You've already predicted your future. So now let's get up in the morning and say, you know what? Today's the day I'm going to be successful. Today's the day I'm going to help somebody else be successful. Today's the day I'm going to be lovable. Today's the day I'm going to be likable. Today's the day, right? Today's the day.
I'm going to lead well today.
Yeah, you know,
I'm going to lead well. I'm going to take responsibility for my own stuff. And so when we think about a winning attitude, we think about the attitude that is optimistic and not pessimistic. And so you really can understand, okay, really take a look at yourself and really take a stock of the way that you are thinking, the way you're perceiving your place in the world. If you look at it as, you know what, the whole world is out to get me, it doesn't matter what happens, you find yourself stuck that you're angry all the time, or you're sad all the time, that you're just overcome by grief because you feel like you can never get ahead, or you're just thinking, you know, why even try? This is my lot in life. Then you do not have a winning attitude. You have a losing attitude. The way your thinking patterns are creating your reality. And you have to disrupt it in order to understand, you know what? Bad things may have happened to me, but I have an opportunity. And that's a winning attitude.
And you got to recognize where you're at. You know, we got to own our garbage, own our own mess. You know, we can blame others. When you have a losing attitude, everybody else is to blame. You will blame everybody else for your own catastrophe, for your own shortcomings, for where you don't get the promotion. You're going to blame that person who got promoted. Why? Because when you have a losing attitude, you walk with this guy named jealousy. And jealousy will overpower you, and you can never see victory or even celebrate other people's victories in their lives. Because why? You scorn them. You're jealous of them. You begin to hate them. Because why? A losing attitude produces poison. And this crazy thing about it is when you have a losing attitude and you want to be mad at somebody, losing attitude is this: drinking your own poison and thinking you're going to kill somebody else.
And so what we want to focus on today is how to develop an actual winning attitude and why it's so important. Winning attitude says, you know what, I can achieve, I can overcome. So when we come back, we're going to talk more about why it's so important to change the way you think.
Stay tuned, and you don't want to miss this.
We'll be right back.
Playing catch, basketball, laughing, and enjoying each other's company. These are all normal things on the outside, but many times are missed in a visitation setting. TYRO Dads brings the same fun experience to the inside through Family Days. As a TYRO Dad, you have the opportunity to participate in this fantastic event. Family Day is designed to allow fathers and families to engage with each other through activities designed to stimulate communication, learning, and play. Family Days will not only be a highlight for you, but for your children as well. The Ridge Project has strategically developed Family Day as an opportunity to help you connect with your child throughout your separation and help both of you develop skills to continue building your relationship when you return home.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about having a winning attitude and what does it take to get it. And right now we're going to talk about why is it important to have a winning attitude.
I will say this right now, anybody that is successful, anybody that has achieved anything in their life has not done it with a losing attitude.
Man.
They've done it because it started with the thought and the belief that they were capable of doing it. It doesn't mean that the very first time that they tried that they achieved it. It means that they believed that they stuck with it, they would be able to achieve it. So if you have something, if you want something better than what you have right now, whether that's a healthier relationship, a better relationship with your kids, a better job, whether that means, you know what, a brand new reputation and a fresh start, you have to first start seeing yourself as capable of doing it.
So dads, why is this important? Because many people are watching you. Many people are counting on you to lead by example. You know, we want to claim to be leaders, but we don't want to lead. Come on. We don't want, do what I say, but don't do what I do. Is that attitude of a losing attitude, right? But when you have a winning mindset, when you're really understanding what it means to be a tyro, an apprentice, a novice, someone learning something new, a warrior, you realize that every step you take from here on out, whether you fall short or not, you're going to get back up and you're going to continue to pursue this continuous improvement. You're going to continue to pursue this winning attitude, this winning mindset, because you're not going to give up, you're not going to quit, and you're going to lead by example. And you're going to be a great leader when you show people, look, we're not going to make it our first try. We might not make it our 10th try. But you know what? We are going to continue to press on towards this mark of the high calling, and we're not going to give up until what? We are successful.
That's right. And success is not defined by amount of money you have in your bank account. Success is defined by the amount of potential inside of you that you are living up to. Say that with me. My success is determined by the amount of potential that I'm living up to that is inside of me.
Let me get that right, because that's good. Let me say it with you. Ready? How does it go?
My success is determined by the amount of potential
that is living inside me.
That I am living up to.
That I am living up to. That's good stuff.
That's right, because if you've got a ton of potential inside of you, but if you're not living up to it, that potential is doo-doo.
Oh my goodness.
It doesn't matter. In order to live up to it, you have to recognize, wow, you know what? I have the potential to achieve this. I have the potential to overcome this, to face this challenge, not to hide from it, not to run from it, not to give up and give in, but instead to actually do it. That's a winning attitude. That says, you know what? I can do, I can overcome, I can face it. What's the worst thing that's going to happen? Maybe I'm embarrassed. Maybe somebody will say something bad. I can live with that, right? And so having a winning attitude is so important because you are setting a precedent for your own mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual health. All of those things that help people become successful every area of your life. And then you're setting that path, and we talk about this a lot because your children are looking to you. If you want to create a new legacy, you have to lead your children well.
When we talk about why is this important, and I had to make a note about what came to me because this is why it's important. Fulfill your calling. If you don't fulfill, Cathy said the greatest potential is in here. If you're not manifesting your greatest potential win each and every day, if you're not living your best life, if you're not putting your best foot forward, if you're not living with the attitude of, you know what, I'm going to do my best, I'm going to be my best, and I'm going to get it done. This is that winning mindset. But if you're like, you know what, I gave my best yesterday, I'm going to take a day off today, right? When you begin to practice, you know what, I'm going to just lay back. Then this other guy named Lazy is going to creep in because Lazy would try to take you out.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Lazy is always saying, there's tomorrow.
Right.
There's next week.
It doesn't matter.
Right?
Nobody else is doing it. Why should you do it, right? Why should you put forth that extra effort? Nobody else is. Why should you even try? They're just going to make fun of you. They're gonna think, oh wow, look at him. He's a poser. He's kissing up to whoever. You know what? You have to stop thinking like that, because a winning attitude says, I don't care how long or how hard anybody else works. I'm going to work longer. I'm going to work harder because I'm going to achieve.
That's great. I'm going to work harder. I'm going to work longer. What was your calling? What was your purpose? Why are you here? And when you find this out and you recognize it, you will do everything in your power to fulfill it. And when you fulfill it, you found your purpose. And when you found your purpose, your passion will be activated so that you can what? Walk and run with this winning mindset. And those people who see you, the ones that were hating in the past, the ones who were just wondering, is he for real? Is she doing what she's supposed to be doing? Is this dad living up to his highest potential? They will run with you and they will come in alongside you and not only help you, but ask you, can you help me?
When you have a winning attitude, it ignites inside of you resiliency and self-regulation. And when you ignite those things and practice those things, you can overcome anything, no matter how difficult the circumstance is. You know, the why is, you want to be successful. You want to live out the best life that you can for yourself and your family. You only get one shot at this life. Time is the most valuable commodity because you can't replicate it, you can't duplicate it, you can't multiply it. You only have one life. You only have so many hours, so many moments to do it. And when you go into it with a winning attitude that no matter what comes, you're setting a legacy that is going to outlive you.
And so when we come back, listen, we got to take a short break. When we come back, we want to talk about some key principles, what you can activate in your life so that you can begin living this winning attitude mindset. We call it the TYRO mindset.
That's right.
So stay tuned.
We'll be right back.
Dear son, it's been hard these last few years, watching you grow up without me in the picture. Never taking the time to find out how you were or what was going on in your life. You're just a boy, I thought. You don't need me. I didn't need my dad. He was never around, I told myself. But I was wrong, son. I'm supposed to be a grown man. I was selfish. I was stupid. I was thinking of me, not you. If I could go back, son, and change things, I would. It's taken me all this time being selfish to finally grow up and realize I need to be a responsible man. That's what I finally learned, not from prison, but the TYRO program. It's all about becoming a better, stronger man. Wish I would have gotten it sooner. Everything looks different to me now. I'm a changed person. I know I need to be there for you now. It's not about me anymore. It's not about being cool. It's not about who I run with. It's about mom. It's about you. It's about being a better man, learning something new in my life. It's about being a TYRO, a man worth following. I'm your dad. You're my son, and I love you. I am a TYRO. I'm a TYRO. Dad.
If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO or just want to know more, contact your local Ridge Project facilitator or your caseworker.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina.
And today we're talking about having a winning attitude.
Ooh,
right? And the truth is you got to grow it. Right? You got to nourish it. You got to water
develop it. Just like any other muscle. You've got to develop the way that you think, to think differently instead of being defeated and a victim. Become a victor and actually experience those triumphs in your life.
And this isn't going to come overnight. This isn't going to happen just because you said it. Practice makes permanent.
Say that.
Practice makes permanent. You got to rock this in your life, and you got to have a mindset where no matter who comes at you to try to stop you from having a winning attitude, because they're going to, I'm telling you, you're going to have haters come in you. You're going to have people in you don't understand what you're doing, but you know what you're doing. You're practicing a new way of thinking, a new way of living, a new way of seeing life around you. No longer seeing life as full of problems, but seeing life as full of challenges.
Or full of potential, right? We think about a winning attitude, even in the midst of difficulty, they find a way to use that to overcome the challenge and become better. So that's number one. How do you do it? That's something that we call D-tip. Say that. D-tip. D-T-I-P. D-tip.
Don't take it personal. One more time, I'm sorry, hon.
D-tip.
D-tip. Let's spell it. D-T-I-P. In fact, I have it here on my bracelet or my wrist. D-tip. To remind me what? Don't take it personal.
You see, if you want to have a winning attitude, you have to stop taking everything as a value statement. Instead, recognize that most of the time they are observations. So if somebody says to you, oh, Ron, there's some lint on your shoulder, doesn't mean, oh, you filthy, dirty person, oh my gosh, you're so sloppy, you look like a pig, right? What it means is, there's some lint on your shoulder.
Literally. It's not a value statement. She didn't attack me. She wasn't coming against me. She was making an observation.
So the number one thing to change the way you're thinking is to stop taking everything as a value statement and take everything as an observation, so that you can say, if somebody says, wow, you know what, you're always running behind. That's not a value statement, it's an observation. You can say, wow, what do I need to do to improve on that, right? Wow, that's a great way, that's a positive thing that I can use to become better. So in your quest, D-tip.
Number two, this is what we want you to practice. Begin celebrating others and their victories. When you recognize somebody, when you see somebody who accomplishes something in their life, celebrate them. Let them know, I see you, I recognize what you did, congratulations.
Yes,
Right?
Absolutely. Because you know what? You can't get mad if nobody's celebrating you if you don't celebrate other people. But once you start celebrating other people's victories, you will find that people will begin to celebrate you. And then that will reinforce that winning attitude. So that was number two. Number three,
begin to develop your continuous improvement plan.
Oh, yes.
Right?
This is a big deal. You have to be very intentional. That means reading books that help you to think differently and apply things in your life that help you to grow, or listening to tapes, watching TV shows, doing things that help you become better, not just wasting time, because you know what? Garbage in, garbage out. What you take in visually, what you take in through your ears is actually either affecting you in a positive way or infecting you and causing you to continue in those negative behaviors and attitudes.
So come up with a plan that you're going to pursue to become better, not bitter. This is really crucial. Embrace the process. Because if you run from the process, you will always hit and skip. You're going to be like that record skipping, right? Playing that same note over and over again.
Stand up, fall down, stand up, fall
down.
down.
Build a process. Follow the process and watch your success happen, right? With this winning attitude, this winning mindset. And when you do stumble, it's okay.
Right.
Because you're not going to take it what? Personal.
A winning attitude does not happen by accident. A winning attitude means that you are purposefully, intentionally changing the way that you perceive the world. And it will position you for success. I promise you, it will position you for success. Because when we began to experience success, and that means happiness, joy, a healthy relationship between us, between our kids, is when we began to adapt to a winning attitude. When everything was negative, when everything was a value statement, there was contention in every area of our life, in our home, our community, and our workplace. If you want something better, you've got to start doing something different.
I tell you what, this is amazing, because when we began practicing this, our life began to change. Those who we thought were our friends fell away.
Right.
And what happened was we acquired new friends. Like minds attract. And I want to challenge you. Look at your own sphere of influence. Look at your sphere of who you're hanging out with. Birds of a feather flock together. If you're hanging around a lot of people who find things to complain about every day and always have a negative aspect in everything that's happening in their life, maybe it's time to reevaluate who you're hanging with. Find people that are always seeing the positive in everything.
That can see a challenge, they hear something as an observation, and then they use it to learn and to grow. If your sphere of influence is taking everything as value statements and constantly complaining and bickering and talking about everybody and everything, it is time to change your sphere of influence, as Ron said. And so you are setting the new tone. They're either going to get on board with you or they're going to get off your bus. And if they are not in the same mindset as you, you need them off your bus so that they don't slow you down in your quest to reach your goals.
You know, somewhere it's written, how can two walk together unless they agree, right? So be careful who you associate with, because as you go into this winning mindset, this winning attitude, and you start to move forward, there's going to be people who think that you're better than them. They're going to come against you, but you can't let that derail you from your vision and your dreams, your purpose here on earth. Continue to pursue it.
You are going to have a winning attitude if you apply these things. Now, when we come back, we're going to take one more short break. We're going to wrap it all up, so stay tuned and we'll be right back.
TYRO Dads will help you to see who you really are on the inside by coming to terms with your past, present, and future. You will begin to move forward by using your time on the inside to transform yourself. We know you're not the only one serving time. Your family is too. Overcoming the issues that existed prior to and during incarceration are often more than what many families can survive. TYRO Dads has a unique method of reaching and healing families based on Ron and Cathy Ron Tijerina's own personal experiences. TYRO Dads works exclusively with incarcerated fathers who have minor children. The program lasts for 10 weeks and focuses on intensive character development. You'll be taught to take responsibility for your actions. To own it, you'll be prepared to overcome the obstacles of incarceration and transition back into your home and community, both successfully and permanently. Upon successful completion of this program, you will earn the title of TYRO, which means a warrior, someone learning something new. You will be one of the honored, a man worth following. If you think you have what it takes to be a TYRO, or you want to know more, contact your local project facilitator or your institution staff.
Welcome back to TYRO TV. I'm Ron Tijerina.
And I'm Cathy Tijerina. And today we are talking about having a winning attitude.
You know, I know when we first got together,
Oh my.
I had a lustful attitude. You know?
Yeah,
but I thought I won because I got you and I was on cloud 9, right? But my intention was totally wrong. You see, you can have a winning attitude and it can be so selfish. Right, but we're not talking about that type of "I won." You know, when we're walking with greed
and
arrogance.
We're not talking about that. What we're talking about, we're not talking about being cocky. We're not talking about pretending like you've got it all together. We're talking about having a mindset that actually positions you to be successful, that positions you to be able to hear criticism and apply it in a positive way to say, oh, wow, that was a criticism. You know what? I don't think that really applies. Maybe they just saw me when I happened to be frustrated and just spilled something. But these things do apply. And how can I make myself better?
So the thing is, you got to humble yourself.
Oh, yeah.
The winning attitude is somebody who is humble and teachable.
And hungry at the same time.
Man, I love that. Hungry, teachable, and humble. Because if you got this chip on your shoulder, and you think that because you're all that in a bag of chips, that's not the attitude we're talking about. That is an attitude of where it's all about you. That's a narcissistic attitude, not a winning attitude. Because a winning attitude and truthful puts others before themselves. Right?
A winning attitude looks around and says, not only how can I be successful, how can I help other people? How can I invest my time and energy in a continuous improvement that improves not just my home, but also my community and my workplace? That's what true leadership is about. So as you think about the changes that you want to see happen in your life, you have to look and see it for what it is. Is it going to affect or infect everyone around you? Because what you want to do is you want to walk in and you want to be an atmosphere game changer, right? You want to walk in and you want to see people change for the better because you are in their midst.
So when you walk into the room, you know, you've been to a room where you can cut the tension with a knife, right? But how about you? Cathy said a game changer. We call that a change agent. Where you can walk into the room and change the atmosphere because of your presence, because of this winning mindset, and that's contagious.
Right.
People want to be around champions.
Yes, they want to be around people that think with a winning attitude, not people that are always defeated, right? Oh, woe is me, it doesn't matter what we do, this is awful, the sky is falling, right? Okay, enough, Chicken Little, the sky is not falling.
You know, and it's okay to be afraid, it's okay to look at something and say, man, I don't know, but what's not okay is to not try. Right? You won't know unless you try. So having a winning attitude is saying, you know what? I may not be qualified to do this, but I'm going to do what it takes so that I am qualified. Right?
So we want to thank you. We hope that today's episode, as we talked about having a winning attitude, helped you in your continuous improvement plan to be a better father, a better community member, and a better employee.
So until next time, always remember that we are rooting for you.